Hello guys, it's Nim and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified when I post my next video. Today, as you probably already saw by the title, we are doing a shell challenge. And this shell challenge is made by Lil Simsie, so that's Kayla. And if you don't know what a shell challenge is, it's basically Kayla built the exterior, so the house that you see on the screen, she built that. And now I am going to transform it into an actual place. So I will link her YouTube channel below so you can go see how she did her challenge, because she already did that as well. And this video is me trying to do her challenge. And I can tell you, darn it, it was difficult. It took me so long to actually figure this out, to decide what I wanted to do with it and what I didn't want to do with it. So the name of the house is Cowplant Justice, because we can name everything in The Sims except for cowplants. We can rename our bike. We can't give a cowplant a name, and that is Cowplantist. So we need to change that, so hence this challenge. And hopefully we will make some awareness and we will get the ability to name our cowplants, because that is pretty darn important. So for this challenge, I decided to build the origin house of the cowplants. So this is where the cowplants originally came from. And seeing that cowplants are kind of mystical and highly underrated race in The Sims, I'm just gonna tell it there, they're highly underrated. I love cowplants. The house also had to be quite mystical, so I tried building this fairy tale-like house. And I think I quite succeeded in that, even if I say so myself. It's pretty good. So I tried to make it look like this. It's very old, and this old scientist used to live here, and then this guy from outer space came and he gave the first cowplants seeds. And so this is the original place where all the cowplants in The Sims come from. That's the idea, and we're gonna roll with it. So it's a lot of landscaping. You will see that in a minute. It is a lot of landscaping, because I wanted this house to be built in the middle of a lake, so that's why I basically placed it on this lot, because then you have the nice island, you have the view over Windenburg. So we're going for this very old cottagey style. So we are using the big windows from Laundry Day, because I thought it would be very nice. Then we are using windows and doors from Cats and Dogs, and then the exterior walls, at least the wallpaper or the bricks, are from Get Together. And it took me so long, especially that bridge. I never knew how to build a bridge in The Sims 4. Now I do know, and I won't be doing it again because it is such a hassle. And we used a swimming pool to get the lake view, but I didn't want the edge of the swimming pool to be visible. So we are gonna place rocks. Rocks, all sort of rocks. And that is something that we are just gonna place. So using the brackets on your keyboard, you can either size them up or size them down, because otherwise the rocks will all look the same. That's quite a shame. So that took even more time, because it was so difficult. So in the end, you'll see me just sizing up a lot of rocks because I was done with it. I just wanted it to be done. I wanted it to look pretty. I tried to changing the swimming pool, the edge or something a little bit thinner, but I realized, well, if you see that, and it looks really weird. So this is just a little bit of stone. You can see that a little bit. It is a big hassle. It's difficult, and I'm pretty happy with the end results. And like I said before, I will link Kayla, her video, down below, and you can see what she did with it. She built a cowplant farm. I think that's what she called it, if I'm remembering correctly. And also, if you want to try this out yourself, which of course you're very free to do, I would advise to do so, because it's really fun. Just look up her origin ID or the hash and post it with the hashtag Cowplant Justice, I think it was. And she will be touring them, and she will be able to see your house. Other people will be able to see it, and it looked really fun. So at this point in the video, I was done with these rocks. I was like, man, I want to move over to something else, but I couldn't, because then I had to go back to it. So I'm sizing up these giant rocks hoping to cover a bit more space. Didn't work out that way. And you'll see like on the edge, the rocks are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And after I was done with that, I realized, darn it, now all the rocks are the same color and that is freaking boring. So I had to go back in and change the color of almost every rock to make it look a bit more dynamic. But we're almost at the end of doing the rocking. Let's call it rocking, I like that. And we're also going to place some rocks underneath that bridge. Now that bridge, it took me, like you don't see it, but it took me like almost half an hour to do that. And I realized, you know what, maybe a bridge isn't the only like way to get off and on this island. So I built this little rock jumping place in the back, so you can just go out the home that way as well. Now we are going to put some more rocks apparently, and then we are going to do the landscaping and changing some of the rocks. We're going back to that bridge. So it took me about half an hour, maybe more, to figure this out. So what you do, you place the swimming pool, and then you build a room. Then you remove then you put the room down, like all the way down into the ground. So not a cellar, but you just move it down using that weird arrow thing. And then you remove all the walls, and then you can place the swimming pool again. So you can look back in the video, it will make it a bit more clear, because it was quite difficult to figure it out and know how to do it. And now we are doing the landscaping, and I wanted it to look like overgrown, as no one has been here in years. And also a little bit fairy tale-like, so we used all those little green patches, and we are going to fill it up with a lot of colors and a lot of ferns and a lot of the same flowers and plants as well, because otherwise it would be one big party of random plants, and I wanted to look like it belonged together, like there was unity in them. So we're using these bushes from Outdoor Retrieve, and I think they actually make the area look quite fairy tale-like. Also, these plants, they're base game, and they're one of my favorite plants. I love them so much. They come in different swatches, and they colored it with almost everything. Like literally almost everything. Also, these plants, one of my favorites. Love them, love them, love them. Now, this landscaping, I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. When I was doing it, I was wondering like, will this look good? Will it not be like too much? Will it be an overkill? I don't think it turned out to be an overkill. You can see it some here on the screen, and in the screenshots at the end, you will see it a little bit better. It is actually quite cohesive, and it looks like it belongs together. Also, we had a lot of green and bluish, so we added some yellow in there as well, just to make it look a bit more better. And then we added some trees, and we're also going to remove some trees because I didn't want too many trees there. So yeah, I think that looks quite well with the tree removed. And then we're going to landscape this tiny area here, making sure like it doesn't clip into the walls, because that would be extremely weird to just have a random plant suddenly inside of your room. Maybe that could be in an update, like when you place something that it doesn't clip into your house, because that is very unrealistic. I mean, in real life, I have a tree outside my window and it does not come randomly through my wall. Let's be honest there, trees don't do that. And this actually took me a while as well to figure out how to make the bridge look pretty, because it was just a bridge, and I thought, well, it needs to be a little bit mystical, it leads to some fairy tale things. So we put these things out of the jungle pack, so make it look overgrown. And it was clipping a lot, so it was very difficult to make it look correctly. But I managed to do it in the end. We're using also these other things from the Jungle Retrieve pack. So that's like when you walk, when you got, I don't know, going by on your boat or airplane, you can't actually see the opening here on the bridge. Of course we can, but we know that it's there because you see me building it. But if you just randomly walk by, you would not see it. That's how good the bridge is hidden now. Just trust me on that. And then we are covering the top of the bridge up with some plants, and then we are using the Parenthood, I think it is, the windows to make it look pretty. Otherwise it's an extremely dark bridge and that would be rather scary to walk over. We're also adding a bit lights of each on the trails we have and some at the front. And I think it just makes it a very fairy tale-like exterior in the dark. At least that's how I see it. I don't know how you guys see it. You can tell me, but yeah, that's how I see it. Now this floor plan, Kayla, I hate you. No, I don't. But honestly, this floor plan, it sucks so much. I definitely wanted a three bedroom house, but it was so difficult, but I managed in the end. Also, I wanted to do a custom flooring because all the floorings, it just wasn't a vibe for my home. So I pressed the Control F button and then you get this little triangle of all your wood floors. And then I built an entire wooden floor. So you can see me doing it there. And on the upstairs, we actually did the same. Now I cut most of that out because you already saw me do it downstairs, so you don't need to see me doing it upstairs as well. And yeah, all these rooms had it. It took quite a while to do as well. So while I was doing this, we're like, well, I don't want it to be like a family home because this is like the origin home of the Cowplants. So it needs to be like a research center also a bit. So one of the bedrooms upstairs is going to be kind of a researchy thing. I'm not sure how to call it, but it was research can be done in that room. That's the most important thing to know. Now, and I wanted to make myself even more of a challenge to build the kitchen on a diagonal, because everyone always says, oh, you can't build kitchens on diagonal walls. I can, I did, it looks good. It's just, we can all agree on that. My kitchen is good, especially with the bay window there. And I will be adding some cushions on there as well, so you could just sit there and look outside, because it's so pretty if you look outside because of all the landscaping. And then on the other side of the house you have like the open ocean, or what I envision to be the ocean, so it's perfect. The only downside of building on a kitchen on diagonal walls is the upper cabinets. Honestly, screw those, because they clip and it's annoying. Also with this cushion, it was clipping into the window and I didn't want it to be weirdly sticking out. And I think I succeeded in that quite well. And then we're also gonna add a little plant on there, so you can just sit there, read a book, look at the plants, stuff like that. Now this Backsplash, it's my favorite Backsplash in the entire game because I think it's so pretty and it reminds me of the Backsplash that I had in some of the houses where I went on holiday. You also have that kind of Backsplash. It just reminds me of being on vacation. And I love that. I love traveling. Also, you will see me doing these lights on the walls. I would love to have those lights in my home. I do that almost in every build with the kitchen. I use those lights to make it lit up a bit, and I just love it. So you saw me adding the picture of the University of Brichester, because I imagine that our scientists like studied there in like alien science or stuff like that. And then she went back here to study alien life form, and there wasn't any. And then like this green little man came and gave the first cowplant seed, and she was breeding cowplants. But people got way too greedy, so then she closed the home for all the cowplants, well, the people that wanted cowplant seeds. And now there aren't anymore because people like broke in and they stole all the cowplants, so now you can only get cowplants by fishing. That's the idea behind this house. Maybe I went a little bit overboard with my idea for the house, but I need to envision like an entire storyline before I'm able to build a house, because otherwise I'm just building and it doesn't make any sense. Also, I really wanted to add that couch because this is one of my favorite couches, and maybe it looks a bit weird by the bay windows because you can already sit in there and look outside, and then you also have those benches, like those couches you can sit on. But I thought, you know what, let's just do it, let's go for it. And my famous couches, which I love to use because of the parenthood, they're just so bright and fun. I like them. Now, and of course, because I feel like this house was like already old, I wanted to have like those record player, because like record playing is pretty old and retro, so it needed to be in there. Also this bookshelf, like I made it and it's almost, you can't see it's clipping almost, and it's just awesome. Like a corner bookshelf, it's perfect. I say perfect quite a lot, but I have to say it just is. So at this point I got the idea from, you know what, maybe the Cowplants came from outer space, so I added the planets. I was like, yes, this is totally the vibe. But then I thought, you know what, this scientist can't live here alone. So she needs a companion, and I didn't want it to be like an assistant or something. It needed to be a cat, because I like cats. So we added a litter box and food bowls and stuff like that, some toys. And then of course a dining space. The dining space, I really wanted a rectangular or a square table, but it just wouldn't work in that space, and I wanted the dining room to be there. So we ended up with a round table and bedrock, and I'm not sure if it works, but we'll see. Like it looks reasonable. It's not awful, it's not the best, but it's okay-ish. I just love these decorating stuffs in The Sims. I love decorating. I like it. Also, I thought it was quite fun to do the staircase the other way around, because usually like the staircase starts where the front door is, or at least in my country it does. And I thought, you know what? This house is going to be different. So it will be on the other side where the living room is and not where the front door is. And I actually thought, you know what? It may be a little bit different, but it's actually something that I could do more often, because it actually really works in the layout for at least of this house. And then of course when you go in, you have this little sitting area by the fireplace with another old record playing or old radio thingy. And it was still like pretty empty, and I didn't know what clutter to use to like fill it up, so we just went with the same table as we had also next to the dining space. We are gonna add some paintings. Maybe those could be some interpretations of alien life form, who knows. Look, and that was the Yoda statue was like the tribute to the green man that came to bring the first and ever Cowplants. I think this entrance when you walk into the home, it's so homey and comfy, and it's really inviting you to come in. And of course, because it's a Cowplant challenge, we added Revenge of the Cowplants, because that's what the scientists envisioned, like, oh, I have to keep this, like, people may know about it, but not too many people, because then we'll get a Cowplant invasion, and we don't want that. So hence the painting. I'm just making stuff up as I go along. I don't even know anymore. Now, the upstairs bathroom, it was a bit of a trickle, because I wanted a shower and a tub separate. I didn't want a combo. So figuring all that out in such a tiny space, it was a challenge. But I think it worked out, and I think it's playable. I actually didn't playtest its build. I forgot to do that. But I think it's okay. You can probably play in it, and otherwise just delete the shower or the tub or whatever. Find a way to figure it out. Now upstairs, I almost forgot that I was doing this old rustic kind of place, and I was gonna add some modern furniture. I was like, no, wait, it needs to be old, because this house has been standing here a long time. So actually, because of that, I used some sorry, cough in my throat. Ugh. I used some furniture that I normally wouldn't use, and I actually feel like it's worked out. Also, I like that painting on the wall decoration. I almost never use that. It's from the vampire pack, but I felt like it could really work out with this bed as well. And it might seem a little bit cramped in this space, but that's because the other bedrooms have like another purpose. So like I said, one of them is already a science research lab thingy, and the other one is a study / guest bedroom. Because this scientist, like, be honest, like, she may be a scientist, but she also has friends. So when they come to stay over, they can stay in the other room. So this is the sciencey thing, and I thought, you know what, you're gonna need a microscope. And then I added some weird looking stuff from Get to Work. And then I just put posters all over the wall and all sorts of things from the Strangerville pack. And I felt like it really worked. I was like, you know what, this is all the information like the aliens gave to her over the Cowplants. So, and then we are building this study, and that's a study / bedroom, because I also wanted some skill building items in here, because I'd always like to do that in my builds. Just skill building is quite important in my opinion. Otherwise your Sims get bored. especially in this build, because there isn't a lot to do like outside of the home because you're on an island. So you need to have those things inside your house. So whenever the scientist had like friend, she could sleep there, but she was not allowed to touch the computer because that's where all the secret research stuff was on. I think after this we are just going to decorate the hallway, and I believe that was the entire build already. So again, like, subscribe, comment, do all those things that you can do on YouTube. In the description below I will also link Kayla, her build, so you can go and check that out. And I will hope to see you guys on the next video. Bye!